Hey everyone, it's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Wednesday. Happy midweek. It's May 15th. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, we're going to be discussing AYR, so Air Wellness, Cresco's recent Q1 2024 earnings. We'll go through the estimates. AYR missed and beat on one, and Cresco beat on both. And then we'll take a look toward the end of the video. We'll do a quick coverage and highlight of their earnings, and then the estimates, and then we'll look at the chart and the technicals and what to expect in terms of that and price action in the days, weeks, months ahead, and price action leading up to today. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future live streams or when I post new content. And as always, this is not financial advice. So taking a look at X, formerly Twitter, the handle for that as well is @GroupPow. If you want to follow us over there, feel free to do so. Appreciate all of the support along the way. Diving into Cresco's earnings, Cresco Labs reported continued trend of financial improvement with first quarter 2024 financial results, and then AYR reported first quarter 2024 results. So we did see about a 5% drop on Cresco's, and AYR was flat essentially from a year ago. But if we take a look at the analyst estimates, on Cresco, they were forecasting 183.19 million, came in at 184.3, so a slight beat there. And then earnings per share, EPS, was forecasted negative 0.02, and it came in at negative 0.0148, so a very small loss, but still a beat nonetheless. And then Air Wellness, you can see 115.67 million was forecasted, came in at 118.04, so a decent beat there by a few million, but huge miss in terms of EPS. So earnings per share came in at negative 1.08. They were forecasting negative 0.21. And then if we take a look at TradingView, same deal there. They were estimating negative 0.02, came in negative 0.015, and then 183.193. And then Moomoo was forecasting 183.19 in terms of revenue. EPS, they were forecasting negative 0.021. And then AYR, this is based on 6 analysts' revenue. They were forecasting 115.571, and EPS was forecasted negative 0.207. And then Cresco Lab, I like how it shows the amount of analysts as well, 4 in terms of revenue and 7 in terms of EPS. So we were up a few percent today on both names. And then, like I said, we'll dive into the chart here toward the end of the video, but we'll just go through some quick highlights. So this is all in US dollars unless otherwise stated. First quarter 2024 highlights. Revenue 184 million, flat year over year for Cresco. Excluding the impact from strategic divestitures, aim to drive profitability. Gross profit of 92 million, adjusted gross profit of 95 million, up 7% year over year, and adjusted gross margin of 51% of revenue, or 580 basis point improvement. So the margins for these US companies are fantastic. Just questioning how much of that is going to be impacted by legalization, right? And we know that the average ounce is selling from anywhere from $300 to $400 US per ounce. So I just can't see that keeping it up. But it is illegal as well at the federal level, which is why they're able to charge. If you look at Canada, whenever they legalized and they rolled it out, the price wars and the price drop were substantial, right? It used to cost, it was around the same. It was, $200, $300 for an ounce. And now you can get it for like $50 US. So, and it's actually pretty decent quality. So it's going to be interesting to see how those margins hold up. But if we get rescheduling, removal of 280E, that's obviously going to have a huge impact on the bottom line. SG&A of 54 million, reduced SG&A by 24% year over year to 52 million, or 28% of revenue. So we'll go through adjusted EBITDA of 53 million, up 82% year over year. Great to see that. The net loss was 2 million. 36 million in operating cash flow, up 1,000% year over year, and 33 million in free cash flow. Retained number 1 share position in Illinois, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. So we'll go through, there were some comments there. They talk about reform. So I also want to thank the team for, and I believe Charlie said that he believes that Schedule 3 is going to be enacted at some point before the election. Recently announced potential federal rescheduling would fundamentally change the future of MJ and all of its stakeholders. The team is fulfilling our vision of being the most important company in MJ and leading the development of the most responsible, respectable, and robust industry possible, said Charles Batchel, CEO of Cresco Labs. All right, so their cash and cash equivalents of 125 million, current assets 285 million. Go through total shares, fully converted basis. So 475,235,515 as of March 31st, 2024. So if you divide the loss by that, that gives you your EPS. That's pretty much all I wanted to mention. Yeah, cash equivalents at the end of the quarter, 124,901,000. Liabilities. Total current liabilities, 209 million. Total assets, wow. So 1,360,000,000. All right. Overall, not a bad report. Like I said, did beat in terms of analyst estimates. And then AYR Wellness, so AYR. Q1 revenue up 3% quarter over quarter to 180 million, as I mentioned. GAAP loss from operations improved to 2 million. And adjusted EBITDA margin of 25%. Company generated free cash flow for the quarter and expects to do so for fiscal year 2024. And again, all mentioned in US dollars. So David Goubert, President and CEO, had some comments and again touches on the rescheduling. So U.S. Department of Justice groundbreaking decision in April to recommend the reclassification of MJ from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 represents a significant moment for our industry that brings us one step closer to federal reform. This expected policy shift validates AYR's commitment to building a sustainable business that will win long term. And while we wait next steps on implementation of this new policy, AYR intends to continue to improve and refine its operations to position for accelerated profitable growth. Looking forward to Ohio, where we anticipate converting to adult use over the summer, and Florida and Pennsylvania, where we hope to see adult use pass later this year, which I think is very, very likely in my opinion. Wow, yeah, it's going to be a fun time ahead. MJ could be one of the best performing sectors, if not the best performing sector, over the coming years. So gross profit, 48.3 million, operating loss, so 21.7 million. And like I said, they did have a big loss there and a big miss in terms of EPS. And then adjusted EBITDA margin, went over that. So yeah, Q1, actually, that was Q1 2023 that I was looking at, my bad. Q1 2024, usually they put it at the beginning, yeah. So 118, 50.7, adjusted gross profit, operating loss, 2 million. How many shares do these guys have? Shares float in the float, 112.31 million. All right, go through a little bit quicker here. Yeah, nice and short and sweet in this one. So we'll see cash and cash equivalents. So 71,199,000 at the end of the quarter. Assets, yeah, 1,473,000,000. And then total liabilities, 866 million. All right. Let's see if it says total shares. Yeah, I think that's correct. I just want to double check. So we had 112 million shares. It's got to be close to that. Yeah, so negative 1.08 for loss and EPS. So this is a company, I have a very small position in AYR and I have a position in Cresco as well, but also a very big position in MSOS. So own them through that as well. But we'll take a look at the chart here real quick. CR LBF, Cresco, monthly inside bar, weekly inside bar. So that's pretty much the theme right now with MJ is weekly inside bars, monthly inside bars. We're just tightening up. Going to be very choppy on the shorter term time frames. And it was actually multiple daily inside bars that broke bullish. So same thing on AYR, weekly inside bar, monthly inside bar. Tightening range. And then we had 2 inside bars on the daily that broke bullish. You do have a lack of resistance here, though, on AYR after 289 all the way up to 346. And that was 346, 345 double top. So that's going to be very strong resistance. Actually, it's a triple top here if you go back to the first week of April. But in terms of the weekly time frame, we're trying to close over the 10-week moving average here on Cresco. We just had a bull cross of the stochastic, but MACD is flipping bearish, so a little bit of a mixed bag here. And MJ just waiting on a headline, right? And I think the idea of uplisting is becoming more and more of a possibility. We know that Curaleaf said it was in talks with the U.S. major exchange about that exact topic. And the NASDAQ has said that it's warming up to Canadian companies with U.S. exposure. So Curaleaf didn't say who, but with that comment on the NASDAQ and Canadian companies and U.S. exposure, we can probably put 2 and 2 together and think it's going to be the NASDAQ. And that's where most of the Canadian companies are listed as well. But yeah, we're still bumping our heads at that 100 weekly. That's been very, very strong resistance. So if we can close over that 215 level on the weekly candle, you can see we got above it, upper wick, and then close below it. So a very strong brick wall of resistance. So if we can close a candle above that, 215, then that would be the first time since way back here in November of 2021. And then we'd more than likely be heading up to our 200 weekly there, which is over north of $5, $5.46. And we just had a golden cross as well. First time in multiple years. Then if we take a look at AYRWF, it's actually trying to fight off a death cross here, the 50 above the 200. And then same thing, we're actually back testing. We actually got above the 100 weekly. Now we're back testing it, confirming it as support and leading up to a 50 and 100 weekly moving average bull cross. And if we were to get back to its 200 weekly, that'll bring us north of $11. And if you take a look at GTBIF, it actually hit its 200 weekly rate on the money. So a lot of names are starting to trend back there. And again, the more names in the space that do it, the more that it's going to increase the odds that the names that haven't done it will do so, right? And it's happening. TrueLeave as well. MSOS first monthly uptrend in history. AYR in a monthly uptrend. Cresco is still yet to confirm the monthly uptrend. We need a break above key resistance there at 277. We have our low, high, higher low. We need that higher high. And then gearing up for the first ever monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So like I said, over the next few months, it's looking great, and could see banking, some sort of reform with regards to banking. Schedule 3 movement, maybe even descheduling. If you haven't seen that video, I did a rescheduling versus descheduling. Could they bypass Schedule 3 altogether and deschedule it? And then Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio coming online next month. So there's a lot to be bullish about. And then, like I said, uplisting, very real possibility as well. We got to get the big banks positioned before major reform happens, right? Nothing happens with your Goldman Sachs, your JP Morgans, and your Morgan Stanleys. We got low, high, higher, low, and higher, high. So we actually confirmed a monthly uptrend on AYR back in September, and that was just after the HHS recommendation. So it was one of the leaders of the pack. And then Cresco still lagging a bit. So key resistance going to be 277. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame for, so we're seeing a bull cross of the stochastic and the MACD here on AYR, so well above the 10-week moving average as well. So all systems go here. It's going to be an exciting couple of months. And I'm still looking, the S&P 500 confirmed a monthly bull flag today with a target of 620 and a new all-time high. And MJ could act as a laggard, but I'm expecting tech to start to top out soon, and then Bitcoin's a monthly bull flag as well, yet to confirm, but it's about, I think, a little over 10% away from confirming. And then we should see, after its blow off top and final move, one more move higher, we should see alt season, and then I think it's going to be showtime for MJ stocks after that. So going to be an exciting end to the year, leading into the elections as well. It seems to be one party supporting crypto, the other one supporting MJ. We'll see which one gets the most attention. and voters. All right, going in it there. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like, share it with your network. If you think I earned it today, I would really appreciate the like, and subscribe. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. It's Rod with the POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. Let me know what you think of these earnings in the comment section, and we'll continue the conversation there. All right, have a great night. We'll see you on the next video.